Chosen one, listen closely. This is the moment you have been waiting for. The weight you have carried for so long is about to be lifted. The struggles, the sleepless nights, the endless effort, it is all coming to an end. God has spoken, and He has made His decision. From now on, it is no longer your duty to work for what has already been prepared for you. Your wealth, your provision, your success. It is already set in motion, and nothing can stop it. You were never meant to live in constant struggle. You were not created to chase after money, to worry about bills, or to fight just to survive. That was never God's plan for you. The time of striving is over. The season of divine provision has begun. This is not an accident. If you are hearing these words, it is because God has led you here. This is the confirmation your spirit has been longing for, the undeniable sign that everything is about to change. Your days of working tirelessly just to make ends meet are over. God is stepping in. He is taking over. For too long, you have carried the weight of the world on your shoulders. You have struggled, fought, and given everything you had. Yet it always felt like it was never enough. No matter how hard you worked, no matter how much effort you put in, it seemed like the breakthrough was always just out of reach. But now, something has shifted. The season of labor is ending. The doors of abundance are opening before you. Do you feel it? The change is already happening. There is something stirring in your spirit, a knowing deep within you that things cannot remain the same. This is not just another day. This is the moment when everything begins to change. Look around you. The world teaches that success comes through endless effort, through long hours of struggle and sacrifice. But what if I told you that God never intended for you to live that way? What if I told you that wealth was never meant to be a battle, but a blessing? What if I told you that from this moment on, your prosperity is no longer your responsibility, because God has already prepared everything you need? Let this truth settle in your heart. It is God's duty now. The days of wondering how you will make ends meet, they are over. The nights of worrying about your future, they have come to an end. You are stepping into a divine season where God's provision flows effortlessly into your life. This is not just a possibility. This is a promise. God has seen every sacrifice you have made. He has watched as you poured yourself into your work, as you gave everything you had, as you fought through hardship after hardship. And now, He is saying, enough. The time of struggle is over. Now, it is my duty to provide. Do not ignore this message. Do not let the doubts creep in. This is your confirmation. This is your breakthrough. This is your moment to receive. What is coming is far greater than what you are leaving behind. The season of labor is over. The season of divine abundance has begun. You will no longer have to chase after success. It will come to you. You will no longer have to fight for financial security. It will flow into your life. You will no longer have to wonder if God will provide, because He already has. Chosen one, you have been set apart for this moment. You are not like the rest. You are part of a divine plan, one that was written before you were even born. God has destined you for something greater, and now that destiny is unfolding before your eyes. This is the turning point. Every tear you have cried, every sleepless night, every moment of frustration, it has all led you here. And now, the waiting is over. The blessings that have been stored up for you are being released. The floodgates of heaven are opening, and your life will never be the same. Are you ready? Because what comes next will change everything. Chosen one, hear this. Your season of struggle has ended. The years of laboring, of pushing, of wondering when things will change. That time is over. God has declared it. It is no longer your duty to work for what has already been prepared for you. Wealth is no longer something you chase. It is something that will now chase after you. For so long, you have been conditioned to believe that success only comes through relentless effort, that financial security is something you must fight for every day. But that is not the way of the kingdom. That is not the way of those who are chosen. God's plan for you has never been one of struggle, but one of overflow. You were never meant to carry this burden alone. Every time you worried about money, every time you questioned whether you were doing enough, every time you felt the weight of responsibility for your own success, God was watching. And now, He is telling you, let go. Release it to me. It is my duty now. But do you believe it? Do you truly trust that God is taking over? Because that is the key. The moment you release the fear, the moment you stop clinging to your old way of thinking, the moment you fully trust that God is now handling everything, that is when the shift happens. Can you feel the change? Something is happening in the spiritual realm right now. The weight you have carried for so long is already beginning to lift. The anxiety that has gripped you, the stress that has kept you up at night, it is leaving, because now you understand. You were never meant to work for what God has already given you. This is the divine order of things. When you step into your calling, wealth follows. When you align with God's plan, abundance flows freely. You don't have to chase it. You don't have to force it. It will come to you effortlessly. But there is something you must do. You must believe it. You must receive it. You must release the old way of thinking and step into the new. Think about it. How many times has God provided for you when you least expected it? How many moments have you looked back on and realized that even in your lowest points, you were never truly without? That even when you thought you wouldn't make it, God came through for you? He is doing it again right now. You will begin to see it. Unexpected blessings will appear. New opportunities will open. Provision will find you in ways you never imagined. And it will not be because of your effort. It will be because God has declared it. What if you truly believed that from this moment forward, you will never have to struggle again? What if you accepted that wealth is already making its way to you, that success is already written into your destiny? Would you still carry the same worries? Would you still hold on to fear? Many people hear a message like this and let doubt creep in. They say, "But I've worked hard all my life, and I've never seen this kind of blessing." They say, "I've prayed before, and nothing happened." But what they don't realize is that the delay was never a denial. God wasn't withholding blessings. He was preparing you to receive them. And now, that preparation is complete. Now, the time has come. God does not lie. His promises do not fail. If He says that He is taking over, then He is taking over. If He says that the season of striving has ended, then it has ended. But do you believe it? Or will you hold on to the past? Will you allow the experiences of yesterday to dictate the reality of today? Because the moment you surrender, everything changes. You have been chosen for a life of abundance. God is not just providing for you. He is elevating you. He is lifting you to a place where financial concerns will no longer hold power over you. He is placing you in a position where wealth is no longer a goal, but a reality. Think of the Israelites in the wilderness. 4 years they wandered, struggling to survive, thinking they had to fend for themselves. But all along, God had already prepared the promised land for them. The moment they entered, everything changed. They no longer had to fight for their provision, because their provision was already waiting for them. Chosen one, your time has come. A divine shift is happening in your life. You are stepping into a realm of provision where blessings flow effortlessly. No more chasing. No more fighting. No more wondering if you will have enough. The decision has already been made. God has spoken it. The spiritual realm has shifted. Your breakthrough is already here. Now, all you have to do is walk in it. The path has been cleared before you. The doors are open. And as you move forward, you will begin to see just how much has been prepared for you all along. Chosen one, something has been shifting in your life. You have felt it deep within your spirit, a stirring, an uneasiness, an unshakable sense that things cannot stay the same. That feeling was not random. It was not your imagination. It was God preparing you for what is coming. For too long, you have carried the burden of providing for yourself. You have labored, you have toiled, you have done everything in your power to create a better life. And yet, no matter how much you tried, it always felt like something was missing. There was always a struggle, always an obstacle, always something standing between you and the breakthrough you knew deep down was meant for you. But hear this now. God has seen it all. Every sacrifice you have made, every moment you wanted to give up but kept pushing forward, every tear you shed in frustration, wondering when things would change. God was watching, and now He is stepping in. The burden is no longer yours to carry. It is His. There comes a moment in every chosen one's life where God shifts everything, where He says, "Enough. The time of struggle is over. Now, it is my turn." This is that moment. You are stepping into a season where your provision will no longer come from your own labor, but from the divine hand of God. Think about this. When Jesus fed the 5,000, did the people have to work for the food? Did they have to labor, to struggle, to fight for their portion? No. The food was provided, multiplied, given freely. And now, that same divine provision is coming to you. God is not asking you to figure everything out. He is simply asking you to believe, to trust, to release the fear that has kept you bound for so long. Because the moment you let go of fear, you make room for abundance. You are being called into a new way of living, a life where you do not work for money, but where money works for you. A life where you are no longer bound by stress, but where peace and prosperity flow into your life effortlessly. Does this sound impossible? That is because for so long, you have been conditioned to believe that struggle is necessary, that only through hard work, pain, and exhaustion can you achieve success. But what if that was never true? What if that was a lie designed to keep you from stepping into the abundance God had already prepared for you? Because here is the truth. God is your provider, not your job, not the economy, not the people around you. Your provision has never depended on the world's systems. It has always depended on God. Think about how effortlessly the sun rises every morning. It does not struggle. It does not fight to shine. It simply does what it was created to do. And you, chosen one, were created to receive God's abundance. This is why everything has felt so difficult lately, because you were never meant to struggle. Your spirit has been crying out for something more, something easier, something aligned with what God has promised you. And now, that promise is being fulfilled. But you must let go of the old mindset. You must stop believing that wealth comes only through relentless effort. That money only comes to those who work themselves into exhaustion. That financial security is something you have to fight for every day. That is not the way of the chosen. That is not the way of those who walk in divine favor. Look around. The signs are already appearing. Opportunities are coming to you that you did not expect. Resources are being placed in your hands without effort. Divine connections are aligning in ways you never imagined. This is not luck. This is not coincidence. This is God. The moment you accept that He is your provider, the moment you embrace the truth that it is His duty now, not yours, you will begin to see just how much has been waiting for you all along. Everything is changing. Chosen one. You are stepping into a new life. A life where wealth is not something you chase, but something that chases after you. A life where your needs are met effortlessly. A life where the struggle is over. And this is just the beginning. Chosen one, listen carefully. This is not just another moment. This is not just another message. This is a divine confirmation. God is shifting your life into a place where abundance is no longer something you work for. It is something that flows to you effortlessly. For years, you have been told that in order to succeed, you must fight. You must push. You must hustle, struggle, and sacrifice everything just to survive. But that is not the way of the kingdom. That is not the path God has laid before you. Think about how the birds in the sky are fed every single day. They do not sow, they do not reap, yet God provides for them. How much more will He provide for you, His chosen one? You have been living under a false belief. The belief that if you do not work hard enough, you will not have enough. The belief that your wealth is tied to your effort. But this is a deception. It has kept you in a cycle of striving, exhausting yourself, trying to force things to happen in your own strength. And now, God is breaking that cycle. God is releasing you from the need to strive. He is telling you, you do not have to work for this any longer. It is already yours. The doors that once seemed closed are now swinging open. The opportunities you once had to chase are now coming to you. The divine provision that was always meant for you is now being released. But you must understand this. It is not because of your labor. It is because God has decided. When God decides something, no one can stop it. No person, no situation, no force on this earth can block what He has already put in motion. And what He has put in motion is this. You are stepping into effortless abundance. You will begin to notice things changing. Money will come in unexpected ways. People will bless you without you even asking. New streams of income will appear. Business opportunities will come knocking. Doors will open that you never even knew existed. And when this happens, you must remember, it is not because of your effort. It is because God has taken over. Look at how Jesus told Peter to cast his net into the water after a night of catching nothing. Peter had worked all night. He had done everything in his own strength. But the moment Jesus spoke, the moment divine favor entered the equation, everything changed. The nets were suddenly overflowing. The same water that had been empty was now filled with more fish than Peter could contain. Do you see what God is saying? You have been working all night. You have been trying in your own strength. But now, God is speaking. And when God speaks, provision comes effortlessly. The work you did in the past was not in vain. but it is no longer needed in the way you once believed. God is now taking over, and what would have taken you years of effort will now come to you in a moment. Some may doubt this message. Some may say, "But I have always had to work hard." That's just how life is. But ask yourself this: who told you that? Was it God? Or was it the world? Was it the voice of the divine? Or was it the voice of fear? Because fear will always tell you that you must struggle. Fear will always tell you that you must fight. Fear will always try to convince you that you are on your own. But you are not on your own. You have never been on your own. God has always been providing for you, even when you didn't realize it. He has always been working behind the scenes, orchestrating every step of your journey. And now, He is revealing what was already set in motion. You are not about to be blessed. You are already blessed. You are not about to receive favor. You are already walking in it. It is God's duty now, not yours. Will you believe it? Because the moment you do, you will see it unfold before your very eyes. And this is only the beginning. Chosen one, what is coming to you cannot be stopped. No force in this world, no system, no circumstance can block what God has already set in motion. You are stepping into a season where your wealth, your success, your provision will no longer come through human effort, but through divine favor. This may feel hard to accept. For so long, you have been told that you must work endlessly to survive, that nothing comes easily, that success belongs only to those who strive the hardest. But what if that was never true? What if all this time, the struggle was never necessary? Think about it. Look back at your life. Were the biggest blessings you received the result of your effort, or did they come in ways you never expected? That unexpected opportunity, that financial breakthrough that came when you had no options left, that moment when things simply fell into place, that was not luck. That was God. And now, God is doing it again. But this time, it will not just be one blessing. This time, it will not just be temporary relief. This is a permanent shift. From this moment forward, wealth is yours. Not because you fought for it, not because you earned it, but because God has declared it. When God decides something, there is no force on earth that can reverse it. When He opens a door, no one can shut it. And right now, a door has opened for you. A door to a life where struggle is no longer necessary. Where everything you need comes to you effortlessly. Where abundance is not something you wish for. It is something that is guaranteed. Can you feel it? The shift is already happening. Things are moving in your favor right now. You may not see it yet, but soon it will be undeniable. People around you will begin to notice. They will ask, "How did this happen? How did everything change so quickly?" And you will simply say, "God did it." Because that is exactly what is happening. God is doing this. You do not have to force it. You do not have to figure it out. All you must do is accept it. Believe that this is real. Believe that God's provision is now flowing into your life without limits. Because the truth is, you were never meant to struggle. You were never meant to live in constant fear of not having enough. God's plan for you has always been abundance. And now, that plan is unfolding. You will begin to see it in ways that will leave you speechless. Money will come when you least expect it. Unexpected doors will open. Opportunities will appear as if from nowhere. And when it happens, remember this moment. Remember that God had already set this in motion, that He had already decided, that your life of struggle ended the moment you accepted this truth. Because from now on, everything is different. Wealth is yours. Abundance is yours. Divine provision is now your reality, and it will only continue to grow. Chosen one, the time of struggle is over. What you once had to fight for will now flow to you effortlessly. God has stepped in, and when He moves, nothing remains the same. 4 years, you have lived under the weight of financial pressure. You have spent sleepless nights wondering how you would make ends meet. You have worked tirelessly, trying to create a better life. But the truth is, your breakthrough was never meant to come from your effort alone. God was always the one who would provide for you. Look back at your journey. Even in your hardest moments, you were never truly without. There was always a way. There was always provision. Even when you couldn't see a way out, God was making one. And now, He is removing the final barrier. No more striving. No more fear. No more wondering when things will change. The time is now. Wealth is already moving toward you. Resources are already being placed in your hands. You are stepping into a season where God Himself is handling your finances, your career, your success. You will no longer have to search for opportunities. Opportunities will find you. You will no longer have to work just to survive. You will work because you choose to, not because you have to. This is what happens when you walk in divine favor. When God commanded the ravens to feed Elijah, did Elijah have to chase after the food? No. It was delivered to him. When God provided manna from heaven for the Israelites, did they have to plant crops, till the land, and harvest it? No. It was given freely. And now, that same divine provision is coming to you. The shift is already happening. Things are moving behind the scenes, aligning in ways you cannot yet see. But soon, it will be undeniable. People will begin to take notice. They will ask, how did this happen? How did everything change so quickly? And your answer will be simple. God did it. Because that is exactly what is happening. God is doing this. He has taken over. It is His duty now. Your only job is to believe it, to receive it, to let go of the doubts, the fears, the old way of thinking that told you success only comes through endless struggle. That is not your story anymore. You are no longer in survival mode. You are stepping into overflow. The money, the opportunities, the connections, the success. It is all coming to you now, and nothing can stop it. This is not temporary. This is permanent. This is not a fleeting moment of relief. This is a divine transformation. You are walking into a life where you will never again worry about lack, where you will never again question whether you will have enough, because from now on, you will always have more than enough. This is the moment that separates those who step into their divine inheritance from those who remain trapped in the old way of life. God has made His decision. The struggle has ended. The chains have broken. It is His duty now. Do you feel it? Do you sense the shift happening in your spirit? Something inside you knows that what you are hearing is the truth. Your time of worrying, striving, and exhausting yourself for success. It is over. God has spoken, and when He speaks, things move. But now, you must make a decision. Will you step into this promise, or will you hold on to the fears of the past? Will you receive what has already been prepared for you, or will you allow doubt to block your blessings? This is your defining moment. The doors are open. The divine path has been laid before you. Nothing is standing in your way, except your willingness to believe. Say it now. Declare it. I receive this. I am ready for my breakthrough. I step into God's provision. Write it. Speak it. Let the universe hear your voice. Let the heavens witness your faith. Because when you declare it, you activate it. Faith is the key that unlocks everything. Think about the woman who touched the hem of Jesus' garment. She did not wait for permission. She did not wait for circumstances to align. She reached out. She took what had already been set aside for her. And Jesus turned to her and said, "Your faith has made you whole." Your faith is what brings the shift from waiting to receiving. The moment you believe, the moment you step into agreement with what God has already decided, everything moves in your favor. No more doubt. No more fear. No more hesitation. The world has told you that you must fight for success, that you must work tirelessly to survive. But today, God is telling you something different. He is telling you that the work is already done. From now on, you will not chase money. Money will chase you. You will not beg for opportunities. They will seek you. You will not struggle for success. It will be handed to you, because it is God's duty now, and what God has spoken cannot be undone. So what will you do? Will you claim this? Will you step into it? Will you finally release the fear and say, "Yes, I receive this"? This is your moment of breakthrough. The divine inheritance that was always meant for you is now being released. The life you dreamed of, the security you longed for, the prosperity that once felt out of reach. It is here. It is now. Step forward. Claim what is yours. Lift your hands. Open your heart. Let go of doubt. And say it again. I receive this. My life will never be the same. This is your moment. This is the shift. And when you look back, you will remember this as the day everything changed. The burden you once carried has been lifted. The fear that once held you back has lost its grip. You are no longer bound by the struggles of your past. From this moment on, your life is different. Not because of anything you have done, but because of what God has already decided. He has taken over. It is His duty now. You may not fully see it yet, but something has already shifted. You will begin to notice it. Small at first, unexpected blessings, doors that open without effort, solutions that appear exactly when you need them. This is the hand of God moving in your life. Think back to all the times you struggled, the moments when you cried out for answers, when you thought nothing would ever change. Those moments were not wasted. They were part of the preparation. Every hardship, every setback, every disappointment, they were all leading you here, to this moment. Because now, the waiting is over. God's plan has always been greater than what you imagined. His ways are higher than your ways. He saw what you could not see, and He knew exactly when to release what was meant for you. And now, that time has come. No longer will you wonder how you will make it. No longer will you question if you are enough. No longer will you battle against a system designed to keep you in lack. Because lack is no longer part of your story. You have stepped into abundance. You have stepped into divine provision. You have stepped into a reality where you do not have to strive, because what you need is already being provided. And this is just the beginning. You will wake up each day with a new sense of peace, a knowing deep in your soul that you are cared for, that you are provided for, that you are walking in alignment with God's plan. And as you walk in this new season, your life will become a testimony. People will look at you and see undeniable favor. They will ask, "How did this happen? How did you go from struggling to thriving?" And your answer will be simple: God did it. Because that is the truth. Everything that is about to unfold in your life, the wealth, the opportunities, the ease with which blessings flow to you, it will all be because God stepped in. But you must hold on to this truth. You must walk in it every day, because the enemy will try to make you doubt. He will try to convince you that nothing has changed, that you still need to worry, that you still need to fight, that you still need to struggle. Do not listen to those lies. Your breakthrough is already here. Even if you cannot fully see it yet, it is already set in motion. Think about a tree. When a seed is planted, nothing seems to happen at first. Days pass, weeks go by, and still there is no sign of growth. But beneath the surface, the roots are forming. The foundation is being established. And then, suddenly, it breaks through the ground, and it begins to grow. This is what is happening in your life right now. The blessings that are coming, the wealth, the opportunities, the divine connections, they are already in motion. The foundation has been laid, and soon it will manifest in ways that will leave you speechless. God does not make empty promises. What He has spoken over your life will come to pass. But your job now is to stay in faith, to walk in expectation, to wake up every morning with the belief that something good is on its way to you. Because when you live with that expectation, you align yourself with the flow of blessings. You step into a mindset of abundance, and you make room for everything that God wants to pour into your life. This is not a temporary blessing. This is a permanent shift. From this day forward, you will never again live in lack. You will never again wonder if you are worthy. You will never again question whether you are meant for more. Because now, you know the truth. You are chosen. You are set apart. You have been called into a life where blessings do not just come occasionally. They chase after you. And as you walk in this truth, you will inspire others. Your story will be a light to those who are still struggling. You will show them that there is another way, a way of peace, of divine provision, of effortless abundance. This is your reality now. Hold on to this truth. Let it settle in your spirit. Walk boldly in the knowledge that you are chosen, and know beyond a shadow of a doubt that what is coming next is greater than anything you have ever imagined.